Bro, if I could fucking bench this shit, bro, I better be able to squat it. Be fucking pretty sad, low key. All right, let's get into it. Finally. Finally. Hey y'all, Zach here, and today we're gonna be talking about how rare is a 405 squat, right? Your boy finally hit 405 on squat. If you don't know, I started my squat journey about a month and a half ago, and I was under the presumption that I would be squatting 405 immediately, just like that, right? I wouldn't say I was wrong to assume that, because your boy can deadlift over 600 pounds on a bad day, right? Here's a video of me doing that. I guess my ego. So I was like, this should be easy. This should be a walk in the park. Boy, was I wrong, right? Here are some videos of me failing 405. Right? I've failed 405 quite a couple times, probably about 3-4 times. A lot of it was just ego, a lack of structured programming, and just me trying to rush into it, right? In today's video, I'm going to show you how rare 405 really is, right? Getting straight into the statistics, it's actually quite rare. Like 0.012% of the population can actually squat 405, or roughly 325,000. And that's pulled from multiple sources. That in itself is actually insane. I would freaking beg to differ that 405 bench actually might be almost as rare as a 405 squat. And let me explain, right? I can bench 405, right? Here's a video of me doing that. And funny enough, my 405 bench probably looks better than my 405 squat. But the reason why I say that is everyone bench presses, or almost everyone bench presses, right? The common question is, how much can you bench, bro? Because that is usually like the determination of someone's strength, which is so funny because squat is like up there with deadlifts when it comes to true, pure, raw strength and power, right? Because they're both applicable into the real world. With bench, you're not really, you'll push some stuff, but when it comes to like real world application, it's not that rare. But getting straight into it, the common question is, how much do you bench, right? And you'll probably have someone ask how much do you squat, but those are usually actual seasoned lifters who actually lift and know that squat is a lot more impressive than bench, right? And another reason why, to add to the rarity, is squat is a mental thing, right? There's times where it was my squat day and I didn't want to squat. Probably another reason why it took so long to hit 405. I was just like, I don't want to squat today, bro. I'd rather go deadlift. And here's a video of me deadlifting instead of squatting that day. Right? 585 fucking felt good. I just did not want to squat that day. It was like a nice sunny day, just got off work, and I'm like, I'm not fucking squatting, bro. I'm not wasting this energy drink on a squat. And I feel like that adds to the rarity of squat, right? It's a mental thing. It's just like, I just don't want to do it. Another rarity, I feel like that adds to the rarity of it is the stigma behind it, right? A lot of people are like, oh, squatting is bad for the knees, or the ROI on squat is terrible because, the risk to reward ratio is garbage when you could also get bigger quads by doing something a lot less risky. And to an extent, that is true, right? If you're squatting a lot of weight and doing that incorrectly, you're going to get hurt. But I feel like that goes for anything, honestly. Shit, you could do Smith machine incorrectly and get hurt. And that's pretty hard to do, but it can happen, right? But yeah, no, a lot of the stigma around it, kind of like the same with deadlift. Like, why would I do that? Even though it's one of the best lifts, the two best compound lifts to growing overall strength and overall body composition. Because again, they're compound lifts. They hit multiple muscle groups, right? But yeah, no, a lot of people they just don't see the ROI or ROI being decent enough to try it, right? That's another thing that adds to the rarity. And another thing that adds to the rarity is 405 is a lot of fucking weight, dude. It's a lot of weight. Like I said, I could easily like walk up to a 405 deadlift and just pick that shit up like it's nothing, right? Cue video here. It's different when you're squatting it, right? You got that shit on your back, right? I had a good conversation with a physical therapist assistant, right? One of my coworkers, and we were talking about like, you know, what lift actually determines strength. And I said deadlift, and I still kind of agree like that it is, because that's the general common consensus. Like deadlifts is coined the king of lifts. But then he told me something valid. He was like, dude, if you're able to have a lot of weight on your back and then come up with that, that's a true sign of strength, right? And mental strength. And it really had me sitting there like, yeah, that is true. That is pretty freaking true, right? And in the clinic I work in, a lot of the exercises that we help these older patients with are something called sit to stand, right? Like get up, right? Pretty much teaching them how to get up again without the assistance of others. And that is a squat pattern movement, right? It's like it's a sign of strength because it's applicable to the real world, right? Which is another way to determine real strength. It can help you in the real world, right? Like again, that's why bench press, like it's amazing. It really does show how strong you are, but it's like, dude, how are you really going to use that in real life? Like pressing stuff or pushing stuff away, I guess I could see that, but still. But back to the squat, man, hitting 405 really opened my eyes. Like when I hit that, I was very excited, very ecstatic, because yeah, this is a very rare lift. And hold on, transitioning into a quick advertisement. If you want to hit 405 like I do, or bench 405, or deadlift 615 pounds, here's a workout program I use to help me get to those numbers. It's less than a Big Mac, but more fulfilling. It's only $5. Yeah, getting straight back into it. 405 squat, yeah, I was very ecstatic, very happy. And I plan on hopefully going for 500 soon, and I'll make a video about that. But yeah, 405 squat, a lot harder than I thought it would be. Again, it was kind of my fault. It wasn't as consistent because it just mentally I wasn't there. And something I just wasn't really looking forward to, which again adds to the rarity of it. But no, I'm going to start taking squat a lot more seriously because again, like I said, it really does have a lot of real life, like real world applications to it, right? I don't want to be that old person who needs to be taught how to sit up without the use of like aids or assistance or anything like that. Because again, squats are very, very world applicable, right? Real world applications are very, like, thanks to squats, right? But yeah, no, the squats, 405, very rare, very, very rare, especially in commercial settings. You're not really going to see anyone just squatting 405 raw. But when it comes to powerlifting, obviously communities 405 is just the standard, right? I helped a guy who's shorter and smaller than me just squat for like 455. He asked us for like, you know, to be spotters, and he fucking squatted that shit for like an RPE of 7. He did not need us there. Obviously in powerlifting communities, 405 is a lot more common than you'd think. But obviously because these people train for that movement, right? But when it comes to like actual like commercial gyms, when you're around average people, if you see someone squatting 405, they're strong as shit, right? They're just strong as fuck. Like they've probably been training for that movement for quite a while. But yeah, that's today's video, just how rare 405 is. It's pretty rare, right? But again, hopefully you guys liked today's video. Please leave comments, like, subscribe, and really appreciate you guys.